What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Dynasty Warriors Origins video where I'm going to be talking about the best weapons from Dynasty Warriors Origins. And I'm just going to rank them from worst to best in my opinion, telling you my reasons why, and that's going to be pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead and start off with the bottom at number 10. I guess technically this could be at like a top 10 list, there's only 10. But on the bottom, in the quote-unquote worst position, we have the... Now, just because it's the worst weapon in my opinion, that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. But taking into consideration the battle arts and how the utilities of each of the weapons, like what's their unique ability, that's kind of where the rankings for these weapons will fall. And using them all equally in order to take down some of the hardest levels in the game, starting off with the Lance at the bottom made the most sense for me. The Lance has the worst battle arts out of all the weapons. The special effect of the Lance, which is focusing on the charge attack, makes the weapon decently good. It's fun to absorb damage and then explode out with a flashy flurry, but the battle arts is just a very weak group of battle arts. They're like decent, no real big heavy hitters. I mean, Inner Fire Fury, decent, but it's not worth the bravery cost in my opinion. So I end up replacing it with the Ice Luan battle art that can be used for any weapon, just so I can have a heavy battle art to use when I'm trying to melt an officer's fortitude using the Lance. Now moving into the next one, right above the Lance, we have the... It's a pretty decent weapon, but it is not that great compared to some of the other ones. The best battle art by far is the Furious Tiger Dance. Very good battle art, but it is a little underwhelming and it's a bit expensive for the impact that it leaves behind. But I love the recall of the animation to Zhou-Yu's Old Musou. Really fun to see that. 7 bravery for it is a bit too expensive in my opinion. And then the second best battle art in my opinion is the Double Wave Slam. Another decent battle art, and that's a very fast weapon. It's very easy to manipulate mobility with this weapon, but the damage is definitely a little lacking. And then again, its ability, which is focusing on the strong attack button being held down, it's okay, but it's really easily interruptible and it's nowhere near safe enough to rely on indefinitely. It's very easy to get off track with it. So the staff for me comes towards the bottom of the list, but it's above the Lance in my opinion because it has better battle arts and the attack speed helps out a ton with the weapon. Now, next up, coming in at technically number 8, right above the staff, we have the... Now, the Twin Pikes are a decent weapon and they have a great battle art. The Sky Sunder, massive damage, but the limit being the range in terms of both AoE and when you initiate the battle art is a bit limited because the battle art doesn't slow down enemies when you jump up in the air, so it's very easy for them to evade away and be out of range for both of your attacks or one of them. So sometimes, if not done properly, you will miss it and lose a lot of bravery despite it costing 8 bravery in total. A bit expensive in my opinion as the range of the explosion seems pretty small. The only other viable one in my opinion is the Roaring Maelstrom. It's a decent one, even though it can be at times tough to take advantage of airborne enemies. Best weapon for clearing bases 100% due to its quick movement with the strong attack spam. It is the best one. The attack speed is kind of slow and it's going to land here, I guess, technically at number 8 for me, and the reason is because the Sky Sunder. It is a great battle art when you hit both of your axes landing on the ground, but other than that, Twin Pikes overall for me is kind of an average weapon. Alright, next up, coming in at number, I guess, 7 technically. Coming in right above the Twin Pikes, we've got a great weapon here. It was one of the first weapons I used, played the demo back in early November at the Koei Tecmo headquarters, and that's going to be... Podao doesn't have the heaviest of hitters. It does have one with the Ardent Aura Slash. It's great. It's the most expensive battle art for the weapon, and when you think of expensive, you think of more power. But I think it's a bit too expensive for an over-exaggerated swing that can be interrupted during the charge-up. And I'm well aware of the mastery of the dash while charging that could leave players in an almost invisible state. I've seen the playthroughs, but because of the craziness of large-scale battles, most casual, normal players like myself will find themselves getting mauled by flying peons and officers before we can dodge everything while charging an attack. It's a great one. It does a ton of damage, but just to use it by itself is quite difficult, especially if you're going to get mauled by a bunch of people. Now, the Sea of Flames is 100% the best battle art for the Podao. So much passive damage that allows you to take advantage of, and you can absolutely just nuke away tons of soldiers and the officers' health just by spamming a couple of them in a couple directions. I mean, it's a really fun battle art. Blade Typhoon is good too, but it's not massive like some of the higher weapons, but it is a decent alternative for the Podao. It has a very solid weapon and moveset coupled with a very strong passive battle art. It makes the Podao very fun, very deadly, but the few strong battle arts and focus on the charge attack could leave you vulnerable, and that's why for me it's just shy of the top half of my list. Now, coming in at number 6, this is the highest of the bottom end, I guess. We've got the Long Endowed. Now, hands down, one of the best battle arts from this game is the Great Mountain Throw. It's a great and powerful battle art, probably one of the strongest, but it has limited range as it leaves you susceptible, and the damage only affects enemies behind the target and not behind the player, and I think a little bit on their sides. So you have still some blind spots on the left and right side of the person you're attacking. It's a bit too expensive in my opinion as well. I mean, it's great to spam to destroy Fortitude for ultimate Muso activations, but other than that, I try not to use it too heavily, as there are better ones in my opinion with the Azure Dragon Bellow. The Azure Dragon Bellow is a great battle art. Solid damage that destroys a ton of Fortitude, and it is relatively cheap for the damage that it does. The only downside is that it can be easily interrupted by quick strong attacks. And then I always like to use the Bursting Wave Slash, which is my personal third favorite, as not only does it do a good amount of damage for cheap, it also pushes away vulnerable enemies and can be used as a range attack for collateral hits, chunking away tons of Fortitude. The reliance on the level build and the charged strong attacks is a very unique trait for the weapon that is very satisfying to pull off, but the slow attack speed leaves the weapon vulnerable. The AoE is great for normal strings and base clearing. Overall, for me, it's a solid weapon with the only drawback being the attack speed. Next up, coming in at number 5, technically we've got my personal favorite weapon from the game, but I couldn't be biased because I originally had it at number 2, but you know, looking at the other ones, and I had to bring it down. I can't be too biased. Coming in at number 5 for me, we have this is my favorite weapon to use. It is so good. Absolutely abusable battle art. With only costing 6 bravery, we have the Divine Eagle Dance. This is my personal favorite battle art, and this weapon is my comfort weapon. This is the one that I used to defeat Lu Bu at Sha Pi on the hardest level and complete the challenge to acquire red hair, because the weapon is so fast, but the Divine Eagle Dance is relatively cheap to reach it during the fight in order to solidly rely on it. The only reason it's not higher is because of the battle arts not being as strong as the others. And then the C6 for the sword is unblockable, making it viable to take advantage of people. This is what I used for Lu Bu. I knew I could get away with hitting my C6 and the pursuit of C6 in order to do extra damage before you getting away. The attack speed on this weapon is among the best, which makes mobility with it super fun and rewarding. It may not be the strongest, but for me, it is my personal favorite. Next up, coming in at number 4, this weapon style can definitely do some damage, and that's going to be the First of all, they've got one of the strongest battle arts in the game, being the Heaven and Earth's Wrath, the Power Bomb. The Heavens and Earth Wrath is worth 8 bravery, and it is definitely worth it. The only weakness that it has is range, and under pressure, I might have missed a couple of kicks to hit them up into the air. Here we go again, right? It does balance with the tamer version of Wrath of Earth, which is a great normal but decently strong battle art. Very strong, good AoE on it, similar to the Spears version. The utility of the forms of the gauntlets can be easily used to exploit enemies far away and clear bases really fast. So when I knock away people off of doing it like a rush attack, the Fortitude rush attack thing, it's easy to go into the Y form where he's in the horse stance and he does like a really powerful air wave to hit them with before they come back towards you. Attack speed is great for the weapon, and comboing multiple forms back to back is really easy to do, allowing for tons of damage really fast. The weakness for the weapon is obviously the range, but other than that, it's a really good weapon to use. You connect with the gauntlet, you're going to do some damage. Next up, coming on at number 3, Bronze Medal, one of the best weapons from this game, 1000% is the Spear. Has probably one of the best battle arts from this game. The Dragon Flash, easy top 3. The collateral damage you can do with it is absolutely insane. And from what I've seen, besides like commanders or maybe opponents with like 10 fortitude, it instantly knocks every opponent into the assault stance. Like, they immediately become vulnerable. 100% worth the 8 bravery needed to use it. It's definitely one I spam for melting stronger opponents.
Next up, we're talking about the Earth Shatter.
The 6 bravery needed for it is a little expensive, but it is really, really good. AoE hits really, really hard. The wind-up could lead to people being vulnerable, but it does tons of damage to erase opponents' fortitude, making it a great quote-unquote normal battle alert to rely on. And then lastly, the Rising Dragon Vortex is such an easy way to take advantage of an opponent. My goodness, because you can juggle them until their fortitude drops to nothing. It's so freaking easy. The speed of the weapon is average. The normal string has decent AoE and base clearing, but what brings it up so much for me is definitely the battle art kit. It's probably, well, I guess the second best when it comes to its overall kit of battle arts. Next up, coming in at number 2, shouldn't be too surprising, but we're here anyway. One of the best weapons from this game, 100%, is going to be probably has the best battle art in the game, which is the Twin Tiger Blast. It is absolutely OP. The AoE is incredible, and it's such a reliable battle art where even if you miss, you can still hit your target with the explosion after you shoot the wheels in the air. It is the most comforting battle art to use because of the damage it does. Even if you miss it and you still get that radius hit, it still does tons of fortitude. It's so freaking good. The shreddation you can do with the wheels is what brings it up above the spear. The spear has the better like overall battle arts, but the wheels ability of shredding and comboing the thrown wheels is unmatched. Residual damage done when used properly is absolutely insane. The Claw of the Dragon battle art is what I used to beat Lubu at Shop P for the very first time, as it was very reliable, coming in handy sometimes to shake up Lubu during like his more quicker unreachable attacks, like when he pulled his bow out. You throw the wheel up in the air, you give it like a few seconds, it comes down, and it absolutely disrupts him. It was such a great battle art to use in order to overcome him. I mean, the wheels shred just like the Podow's fire ability, but there's almost no limit to it. If you have the Singing Luan version of the wheels, try it on Ultimate Warrior difficulty, and you'll see the shredation it causes. It's absolutely beautiful. One of the best ones, 100% in the game. Now, coming in at number 1, there's one thing that's consistent among Dynasty Warriors game. It's somehow this guy getting up to number 1. So first of all, you don't even need the best battle art from the halberd in order to reap the benefits of how good the halberd is. It is absolutely insane. First of all, the Sky Crusher, jump up and slam down, an absolute monstrosity of damage with only 4 bravery is insane. Following that up, you have the Hellraiser, which you have damage in the center and then it pushes out. Is only 5 bravery. That is absolutely insane. The horse jump battler, I believe it's called the Valiant Steed Blitz, is very good, but there's no need to use it because those other ones, you could do 2 or 3 of them and be fine. They're so freaking powerful. The C's on the halberd is absolutely OP, and I'm pretty confident that every C past its normal string is unblockable. It is crazy OP. The weapon pulls on some of the old movement from Lubu and Dynasty Warriors 5, which is always good to see. The C4 on it goes absolutely crazy. Clears out bases, peons, damage, everything is absolutely insane. And then on top of that, the Muso Rage is broken. You don't gotta worry about anything. No heals. You don't gotta heal. You can just sit in one place and spam your normal attack, and that's all you need for the halberd. Don't waste your time on battle arts, because when you use a battle art, it drains your Muso Rage faster. You don't need to do that with the halberd. It is absolutely insane. If you can't die. You can sit there and get hit over and over again, but it doesn't matter. You just spam the normal attack string. Absolutely unbeatable. The waves of rushing enemy that keeps you healed no matter what. Even on the highest and hardest levels, they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. Even when they close in on you and they do one of their stronger attacks and do damage, you're still just spamming the normal attack string and your health is not moving. You're absolutely cracked out. And the halberd has always been insanely cracked. It is 100% the best weapon. And the only thing that some of the other weapons have over it is attack speed, but not by much. Anyway, that's all I have for the video here, guys. These are my choices for the best weapons from worst to best. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. You guys' experiences might be a little bit different. But after 200 hours and multiple playthroughs and with each of the weapons, and for me, the halberd, the wheels, and the spear are among the best. Not saying the other weapons aren't great, because they all are great in their own merit, but for me, these are the weapons that did the most damage and provided the most comfort throughout my Ultimate Warrior playthroughs. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully it's helpful in some way. If it is, definitely appreciate a like, subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think. What's your favorite weapon? Any questions about the game, let me know. I pretty much know everything about the game. And with that being said, that's all I have for the video, guys. And I will see you all in the next video.